How can Americans prevent Republicans from stealing the 2024 election and installing a fascist in the White House? Yeah, it's time to think about that. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you. The recent news, literally from today, that Secretary of State Raffensperger, honest to God, that's his name, the Secretary of State of Georgia, has said that they are going to do a statewide hand recount, which could push Georgia, the electoral vote from Georgia, or could provide the Georgia legislature and Brian Kemp with an excuse not to certify the Georgia vote. So that's kind of a wild card. But before that happened, and even with that happening, I think that for the institutional Republican Party, I think a lot of them have just kind of come to terms with the fact that Donald Trump has lost the election, that Joe Biden won by the largest popular vote margin since Franklin Roosevelt. I mean, it's a big deal. He won a lot, as just like in 2018. You know, the votes continued to come in, and we kept hearing what was going on. But the reason why they're dragging this out, in my opinion, is to test public opinion. How far can they push this? And I think they're testing public opinion to find out how far they can push it with an eye to 2024, 4 years from now. The next election in 2024, I guarantee you, even if Donald Trump runs for president, and it looks like he will, he just created a brand new PAC where all the money goes to him. And that's going to be the 60% recipient of all donations for all the fundraisers Trump sends out. I've gotten 9 of them since I went to bed last night. 9 emails begging for money and proclaiming that he won and that he's fighting this and he's fighting that. Won't you help out here or there? And, you know, help us in Wisconsin. And then you read the fine print and it's like, oh, the money's going to Donald Trump. But in any case, that in 2024, I don't think Trump is going to be the nominee. Well, even if he is, he's a good fascist, right? But I'm suspecting it'll be a competent fascist, somebody like Ted Cruz or Tom Cotton. And their strategy to win, keep in mind, the last time a Republican nominee for president, who was not already president, the last time a Republican nominee for president won the majority of the national vote. And frankly, if I can Frank Luntz this, we need to stop calling it the popular vote. That sounds like, you know, it's a popularity contest, which isn't real or important. It's the national vote. The last time a Republican candidate, first-time candidate for president, won the national vote was in 1988. It has been 32 years since a Republican, first time out, won the national vote. So I don't think they're expecting to win the national vote in 2024. But I think they are planning on taking the Electoral College, but not the old-fashioned way, not with help from the Supreme Court like George W. Bush did, not with some help from foreign governments and Mark Zuckerberg like Donald Trump did, but by having the individual states simply decide who their electoral votes are going to be going for. This is part of the Electoral College. I mean, Al Gore won the majority of the national vote. Hillary Clinton won the majority of the national vote. Neither became president because of the Electoral College loophole. And, and this time Joe Biden won the national vote. And right now Trump and the Republicans are saying he shouldn't be president, again, because of the Electoral College loophole. The Electoral College was put into place in 1789, as Alexander Hamilton pointed out in Federalist 68. He said it was because we were, he didn't say it right like this in Federalist 68, but I'll give you a quote from that in just a moment. We were, at that time, in 1798, when we became a republic, we were physically the largest developed country for the time in the world. I mean, the eastern seaboard of the United States, from Florida to New Hampshire, is huge. And so, as Hamilton wrote in Federalist 68, he said, talents for low intrigue and the little arts of popularity may alone suffice to elevate a man to the first honors in a single state. In other words, being a con man might get you elected governor. But, Alexander Hamilton wrote, it will require other talents and a different kind of merit to establish him as President of the United States. So they established the Electoral College because, people in Georgia couldn't travel up to D.C. to meet their candidates. Or actually, it was in New York was the seat of government in 1798. But by the 1850s, the Electoral College was already obsolete. You had the Pony Express, you had railroads, the mail, first national newspapers. But right now, the Republicans are banking everything on minority rule. The Democrats in the United States Senate represent 15 million more Americans than do the Republicans. But the Republicans control the Senate. George W. Bush and Donald Trump became president, and both of them lost the national vote. We have to get rid of the Electoral College, and we need to do it in the next 4 years. And this should be like job one. There's two ways to do this. One is to have individual states sign up for the National Compact, the Interstate Compact, to do this. We need 70, I believe it's 74 more Electoral College votes, states representing that number of votes. And those, and the way to do that, of course, these are all Republican-controlled states, is to pour money and resources into those states, particularly in the 2022 election, so that those states' legislatures can flip and we can get this in, or with a constitutional amendment, which will be even harder because it takes 2/3 of the House, 2/3 of the Senate, and 3/4 of the states. That ain't going to happen. But this needs to be top priority, and Democrats need to start talking about this. We need to start yelling about this. This is minority rule.